and this is called code switching. What is a language? Do we include the clicks of dolphins or orcas' calls pulsating across kilometers of ocean to reach their pods? Do we include the chemical exchanges of ants touching antennae, or how plants communicate through hormone sentience, tell each other when to fill their leaves with natural pesticides, then tell each other when it's safe to bloom? Wild vines of a mind so different from our own cognition, yet not that different. Is there poetry in a garden? Is there poetry in the source codes of computer programs? Bracket, slash, slash, bracket, bracket, re, colon, direct, bracket, bracket equals, quote, refresh, quote, bracket, bracket, href, bracket, end head, begin body. Speaking of, do we include body language? How our minds touch through paralanguage and haptics, chromatics and oculesics, facial muscles and pupil dilation, and the frequency of glances. Everything we do, we encode. Everything we do, we decode. Language spools out of us constantly. So today I will speak about spoken language, because I lack the time to touch on signing as language, and I have to start somewhere, even if these 7 minutes are a shallow sound wave at the edge of an ocean, the shelled echo of blood in our own ears, bringing our heartbeats back to us. The depths of language span deeper than I have swum, than anyone has yet traveled. The history of speech remains a mystery, buried in these waves of frequencies that we sculpt into meaning. So I'll start with 800 phonemes, because we all start with 800 phonemes. 800 particles of sound, 800 particles of language. Every language spoken by humans, every language ever spoken by humans as far as we know, was born of these 800 possible sounds. At birth, we can hear them all, distinguish sh from sh, g from g, pick out every shape of meaning, baby babble a Babel tower of all any language can possibly say. 800 sounds the mouth can shape, 800 sounds the mind can hold, particles of thought, nebulae of speech, expanding across galaxies of newborn neurons. But every individual language only uses about 40 of these phonemes. By 11 months old, our minds have already begun to prune, to cast out the stars we never use, whose dead language light no longer glows around us, receives no recognition when it spills from our mouths. Dead stars, their sound fades out before reaching us. Bilingual minds continue to hold on to more phonemes, trilingual even more. When I say mono no aware, can you hear me? Do you know what I mean? Because language shapes not only what we can say, but what we can hear and see. Odysseus wandered for years on the wine-dark waves of a language with no word for blue. Yet he saw the deep green of honey and knew that sheep were fleeced in violet. In all the Quran and the Hebrew Tanakh and Hindu Vedic hymns, there is no word for blue. The Egyptians were the first to name the color of the sky, or at least the sky as we see it. With silica, copper, and calcium, they drew out the color of heaven and ocean, created the first human-made pigment, and soaked it into their clothing and art. They gave it a name and spoke a new color. Today, scientists estimate that up to 1% of people possess a genetic mutation, a fourth cone in the eyes, which opens the possibility to see 99 million more colors. Yet, most don't. Even with this capacity, without language to name what they see, these colors slip by, unrecognized. Yet even an artist lacking this mutation, but armed with vocabulary, can see the difference between cadmium and gamboge, can tell you the sky isn't blue but topaz, shading into lapis lazuli, into shale, into rose, can detect the soft-skinned light within the hardest of stones. In Niger, the Tuareg community recently released a rock opera, A downpour of electric guitars sing the story of Prince. May he rest in peace. Purple rain becomes rain the color blue, with a little red mixed in. What color was the sky in Akkadian? What sound did Linear A ascribe to what children saw in clouds as they passed by? What perceptions have we lost with each lost language? And what perceptions may we still yet create? In Northern Australia, 300 speakers have pieced together English, Creole, and Warlpiri, a tapestry of grammar and sound never before heard. The first generation of a language, light Warlpiri. The elders fear their traditional speech will be whited out by English, their grandchildren's speech incomprehensible, ancient stories swallowed whole. Their grandchildren say, "This isn't English, we're making something new." How much can we translate across cultures and continents, eras and idiolects? What untranslatable colors could be given a name? Dadiri, Australian Aboriginal, the spiritual act of deep, respectful listening. S'approvisionner, French, the mutual process of learning to understand. How two sides gradually can accept and recognize one another. Mbuki Miaku, Bantu, to shed clothes and dance uninhibited. Fismake, Norwegian, to eat small pieces of food when you think nobody's looking. Ubuntu, thank you. Ubuntu, Ngani Bantu, to be kind to others because you recognize your common humanity. Mana no aware, Japanese, sweet bitterness of understanding the impermanence of this world, bearing witness to this awe. I speak to you in English, a patchwork of over 50 languages, motley threads of grammar and vocabulary that bind us together. We play these strings and they vibrate meaning. Listen. Tune your ears to the notes we have scratched into cave walls and parchment and bathroom walls. These notes we have sung across campfires and dinner tables and countless generations. These are the notes we have left to remind ourselves what we can feel. Thank you.